Good day and welcome to the Sport Wrap Show with the one and only Ashwin Bedi, making sure you stay updated on what's happening in the sporting world. Yes, we all watched that Champions League semi-final. Oh my goodness, hashtag Hala Madrid. It seems like championship DNA is really instilled in these guys. Will they be able to do it in the final at Wembley against Dortmund? We will find out. But for now, let's keep it local as we head into the hit list. Now, Terence Lota Mukasa embodies the essence of following one's dreams against all odds. Born and raised in Windhoek, Mukasa's journey is a testament to resilience and adaptability. From a young age, Mukasa found solace and joy in the football pitch, honing his skills at Ramblers Football Club and Academy. However, life had a different path in store for him. Despite initially aspiring to delve into fields like economics, marketing, or logistics, financial constraints led to him to pursuing a degree in English and applied linguistics at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Now, while academics laid the foundation, Mukasa's heart remained intertwined with sports. Outside his professional life, he continued to pursue his passion for football, playing for both the Patriots Futsal Club and Davos Football Club. Little did he know that his love for sports would intertwine with his career trajectory. All right, now with anticipation building up, the Namibian School Sport Union Under-17 boys national team is gearing up to kickstart their training camp this Sunday in preparation for the upcoming ISF World Schools Championships in Dalian, China. The training camp comes with a tight schedule as the boys will have only 5 days to prepare before their departure on the 15th of May. During this short period, the team will undergo 2 intensive training sessions daily to fine-tune their skills and strategies for the competition that lies ahead. Now, the Deon Hotto Foundation announced that the second edition of the Deon Hotto Charity Cup 2024 will be hosted in Omaruru from 28 June to 30 June. Carl Pesat, the chairman of the foundation, made the announcement on 19 April and encouraged teams to register for the competition. Now, the foundation visited Omaruru and handed over netball and soccer team kits, a laptop, and much needed stationery supplies valued at 30,000 Namibian dollars for the learners of Paheye Primary School. Hotto also donated a soccer jersey to inspire the next generation of young talent. Now, there is a double adrenaline on the cards and double the thrill whether you are sprinting down the track or charging across the rugby field. It's all about pushing boundaries and unleashing the inner warrior. NTV will be going live on these upcoming events. Do not blink an eye this weekend. So that is the NSSU National Athletics Championships 2024 from Friday, going live from 9:30. That's on my zone. On Saturday, 11 May, staying with the NSSU Athletics NRU Premier League, it's going to be the Dolphin Sports Club taking on Rio Falcon. All right, we're going to take a quick break before we return and zoom in. Now, earlier this week, Brave Warriors coach Colin Benjamin spoke about integrity and the importance of playing for the Brave Warriors jersey.
It is that time of the year again where the nation will engage our football team, the national football team for men, into 2 competitions, and the coach will get into those details. And this is basically an announcement of the preliminary team that is relatively high in terms of numbers, but the coach will get into how this will be accommodated for the 2 competitions that the team will be called up for. Coach, let me move the microphones to you. and they are all geared for you.
Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Mweti, seasoned. Thank you so much for the platform. Obviously, I have to recognize the presence of my leadership. This is Yaya. It's actually, yeah, it's an honor, it's a pleasure also sitting at this, I think, a very good event in the sense of this excitement. It's something that we have to look forward to. It's the brave warriors, it's the darling and the firstborn of the Namibian nation. Obviously also council member Kandundu with your team, the deliberations were very positive, we appreciate that. Technical director, our stakeholders in the form of media. It's beautiful that we have this packed house. This actually also takes us back, or takes me back, when we were at that AFCON, when we knew that our people are behind us, and quite frankly, I've never had it like this, so the interest is there, and we appreciate you, and welcome. Okay, I think we can just go into it. It's going to be an open one. You're obviously very free to ask me any question, but before we go there, I also just want to recognize and also just give homage and say how proud we are of these players that took us to the AFCON, that took us to the second round. It took us 26 years, guys, 26 years to get to the second round, so it is something special. Personally, I'm not going to allow anybody to downplay it. It took us 26 years to get there, and I think it's now our duty with this team, all of us together as a Namibian nation, to see that we actually then have to go further the next round. Thank you so much. Because, yeah, it should be uncomfortable for us. Nobody has to be comfortable. Comfortability is where basically the devil creeps in. We have to be uncomfortable. And with that, I actually then would want to mention their names. Loika Dapwa, Ryan Nyambe, Ivan Kameripa, Charles Ambira, Ananias Gepard, Denzel Housep, Rian Anamo, Deon Hotto, Marcel Papama, Absalom Imbodi, Peter Sitembi, Jocelyn Kamatuka, and Peter Shalulule, a unique breed of players that were played twice at the AFCON. Guys, you wish to go to the AFCON every 10 years. It's not possible. And these guys did it, and I think we have to give them their flowers while they're around. And we're happy, and I think it's a good job. In that same breath, like I said, some of these guys, they were not even supposed to be there, but they crafted their realities. A lot of effort, a lot of hard work. They crafted their realities into making that a truth. Some of them are playing now, taking care of themselves through their jobs, being professional players, taking care of their families, family men. When Ricardo Manetti and Ronnie Canalero took them, they were 18, 19 years old. Deon Hotto is a family man. So basically it's the growth, and that is how we want them to be. Use the Namibian Football Association platform through the national team to create a life for them. It's a platform that they have to use, and these guys we have to applaud. And I think it's now up to us. We're going to have a new breed. Normally saying the new generation is soft. No, they are not soft. They need chances. They need opportunities. And that's where we're going to go to. And I still think that the national team should be special. It should be something that if I honestly wear the jersey and I have that emblem on here, it should be about, it's a platform, I'm chosen, I'm out of, I don't know, 300,000-400,000 playing footballers or playing football players in Namibia. I'm an elite, I'm 30 of the best. So it's with that regard that I say the national team is special. It's a platform that the players have to use to take them to the next height. And what I want from these new ones that we're going to call up now, there's two things I want from them, or us as a nation should demand from them. It's effort and attitude. We want them to put in effort. We want them to have the right attitude, not only on the soccer field, also out there. Because the moment Michael Ditu is called up to the national team, he is not Michael Ditu anymore. He represents Namibia. There's kids that looks up to him. There's kids that wants to be like him. I think I've preached enough. Personally, I'm looking forward to these matches against Liberia and Tunisia. It's not going to be easy, never easy for Namibia. What do you think Tunisia is going to come up? We embarrassed them, coach was fired, new team was assembled. So it's in that same vein and thread that I'm saying we need effort and attitude from our players. And I'm confident if we give them the chance, this chance like we're giving them, they're going to come. All right, let me go into the squad. We've got a squad of 52 players that we've called up. It's a mix. We've got some players that's the senior players that's been around in the system for a while. We've got ones that is in the middle, a lot of potential. And then we've got a few players also from the newspaper cup. We spent the whole weekend there, and I think we have to reward these boys also. We have to reward them because they did the work. We have to bring them closer. We have to see them in an environment, our environment, and try and mold them and try and groom them and make them the next Shalulile, next Deon, next Shitembi, etc., etc. So it's a big squad. We're actually looking at having kind of like 2 squads for the AFCON and then for the COSAFA. We want to create capacity. We want to have a bigger pool that we can choose from. And it's with that regard that we have this big number. So they will start training next week on the 14th of May, starting here at the soccer house at our technical center. The plan is to train for 2 weeks till the end of May, before we leave there for South Africa to play on the 5th of June against Liberia in Johannesburg, and then on the 11th against Liberia. The COSAFA Cup will start from the 15th onwards.
It is impossible to talk Brave Warriors legacy without the legendary name that is Ricardo Manetti. And here's an interview which we had with him, which obviously does not get old.
Yes, good day, Coach.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. It is great having you on the Sport Rep show. The legendary Ricardo Manetti. We're not talking about your coaching days today because...
Oh, thank you so much.
I know it has been, there's always been tough and a lot of controversies.
Yeah.
Yes, as a legend of the Brave Warriors as well, I know you went on to coach it, but first you played for them, especially from the the underage groups.
Yeah.
So but I don't want to dwell much on those age groups. I just want to dwell on your days with the Brave Warriors, the senior team. And one of the moments or things that I would like to know is what your first debut felt like, especially for the senior team.
Terrible. It was a disaster. I was, firstly, it was a shock to me. I was, I think, 16 at that time, playing in the first team.
Yes.
And I think the nerves got the better of me. I couldn't even control the ball properly. I was shaking. And to the extent where the crowd even booed me. You know, it was really a bad experience, but also a very proud one, because at that moment I felt like there is something in me that the coaches, you know, see, and that they want me to express. So, and I will never forget that game. Independence Stadium against Zambia, the mighty Zambia.
Which year was that?
That was, I think, 92.
Yo,
1992, way back. And you know, there were players, you know, the players of the previous era, your Mike Peterson, Tolly van Wyk, I think Tolly was the captain, Donkey Majid, you know, guys like that of the previous, and we were now the youngsters coming in, and I was the youngster that got introduced.
So you spoke of the crowd. We look at today's crowd that attends matches, but if you take us back to that day, was it a fully packed Independence Stadium?
It was fully packed. You know, back in the day, you know, the Independence Stadium was the stadium to go to. People walked from Karatura, from Khomasdal, all the way to Independence Stadium. And, you know, they really loved the team. So much that they packed that I think the stadium capacity is 20,000. So we had 20,000 most of the times when we played.
Okay, so you played for quite a while, and I'm sure you have had some special matches. But what would be the most special match you played in the
Definitely the Bafana one. We beat them. We actually beat them twice, and but the first one was quite special because it was, to me, it was more than just Bafana. It was more than a derby. To me, it was, you know, the South Africans, you know, that colonized Namibia, and we were like a province at that time, and to actually got our independence in 1990 was something. You know, the political independence. That was something special. But then, football-wise, that was like, for me, in football terms, that was my independence day. You know, in terms of being Namibia, the brave warriors, on your own, not under the umbrella of South Africa, not under the, you know, in the shadows of other countries.
Okay, I want to take you through a quick one. 1998, that's the 8th of February. Brave Warriors debuted at AFCON Burkina Faso against Ivory Coast. Half time, Ivory Coast 3, Namibia 0. Goals, Elifas Chivute, second half. That's Ricardo Manetti, 1 goal. The match ended 4-3 in favor of Ivory Coast, but you guys put up a brave. Do you remember that? Can you recall some of the moments?
How can I forget that game? That game, I think it was dubbed, you know, in the AFCON stats and records as the comeback and one of the most exciting games ever to have been played at AFCON. So I think everything happened in the dressing room. You know, that was, I know, you know, when you played Ivory Coast, the mighty Ivory Coast. And we went into the dressing room, and I think everything, the magic happened in the dressing room. And most of the times people don't, I think, somewhere, somehow, every fan would like to be that fly on the wall in a dressing room, because a lot of things happen there. The coach is on your case, or the coach is not even saying anything, or sometimes it's just a player coming through, and in that case, you know, we had a lot of fights in the dressing room.
One of the things is that you guys went 3 goals, I mean, down. Were beyond, was this part of something you guys expected in the match, or were you guys caught by surprise? And we
knew the game was going to be tough, but you know, at that time we thought that we've matured to the extent where those 4 zeros and 4 ones are not, it's not going to happen again. But then boom, here it happened at AFCON. So when we got into the dressing room, it was, you know, it was a dear Makar dressing room. This one is blaming that one is blaming the other one, and it was this one having a go, this one, and the coaches were just there, and they're trying to you know, keep us together and not for us to lose hope, because if you lose hope, the score is going to be 6-7-0. Because then you would just go downwards from there. But you know, some of us stood up, and a guy like me, I stood up and I said, look, what happened happened. And there's nothing we can do about it. So the referees, you know, is on his whistle, telling us to come out. And we are like fighting in there and having a go with each other. And it's not going to help our cause. There are Namibians out there watching
Yeah.
How are we going to come back? So let us go onto that pitch and do the opposite of what we did in first half.
Okay.
And then the referee, and when they had to go out.
Yeah. Well, before we conclude, I brought that game because today is the 8th of February, and of course it is one of those days I would like to
special
remind you.
day. Special day.
Yes. Before we conclude, well, you just have probably 30 seconds just to tell us what would you have changed as a player, and what have you learned from being a football player?
Wow, I've learned so many things from being a football player. The discipline, time management, respect, and how to bounce back from defeats. And I've taken that into my daily life, to say that if things are not going okay, you have to bounce back. Because after missing a penalty, after missing a chance, after losing a game, you have to bounce back. There's another game waiting for you. And that's the same with life. Life is like that. It's always an up and down situation, and you always have to pick yourself up. No one is going to pick yourself up. Remember that. Life is a DIY project. You have to pick yourself up.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you.
We love ourselves some golden oldies, but for me, Ashwin Berry, it's time to say goodbye as I leave you with the latest in international sport coming from Ari Hohad. See you tomorrow.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is Champions League, and the finalists have been determined and confirmed for the 2024 Champions League, and it is Real Madrid that will play in the final against Borussia Dortmund. It was Real Madrid that beat Bayern Munich, the two giants that played at the Bernabeu Stadium, and it was Real Madrid that won dramatically by 2-1 for an aggregate of 4-3 to go through to the final that will be played on the 1st of June at the Wembley Stadium. And it was Joselu, he was the hero for Real Madrid. He scored in the 88th and the 91st minute, and he made it 2-1 for Real Madrid, the home team. Earlier, it was Borussia Dortmund that beat PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. That was 2 days ago, and it is also the last game probably for Kylian Mbappe. He was the striker for PSG. Didn't have a good season or a good game, and he's probably leaving PSG at the end of the season. So the final will be played the 1st of June between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Moving on to tennis news, and it is tennis news from the Italian Open. It is Sonia Kenin of the USA that's through to the second round. She beat Lexi Bonzetti, that was by 6-3 and 6-2. That was in the first round. And then also Magda Linette, she's through. She beat Lua Zhua. She is from China, and she beat her by 6-3 and 6-2 to also go through to the next round. On the men's side of the draw, it was Diego Schwartzman of Argentina. He's out in the first round. He's a former top 20 player in the world, and he lost to Alex Vukic 6-2, 6-2. And then it is Gilles Monfils from France, also a former top 10 player in world tennis. He lost to Tony Montero 6-2 and 7-5. He's out of the tournament in the first round. Of today's international sports news, it is cricket news from the Indian Premier League, and already 11 games played in the season, 11 rounds. Some teams have played 12 games, and the playoffs are getting closer. Big news from the IPL is that the Sunrisers Hyderabad, they won their game against the Lucknow Super Giants, and they won that by 10 wickets within 10 overs. It's a new record. They chased 166 runs in 10 overs, or in less than 10 overs. And what happened was, it was the Lucknow team that batted first, 165 for 4 in their 20 overs. Then it was the Sunrisers that made 167 without loss in 9.4 overs. So the two batsmen that made the most of the runs, or all the runs, Travis Head of Australia, he made 89 runs off just 30 deliveries. And then Sharma Abhishek, he made 75 from just 28 deliveries. So it is the Sunrisers winning by 10 wickets that game. They're now third on the points table with 14 points from 12 games. The leaders at the moment, Kolkata Knight Riders with 16 from 11, and the Rajasthan Royals also 16 from 11. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.